What it boils down to, the anger that's in a lot of women. We're jealous of men. I don't care what you say to me. That is the truth. Because you know what physical strength means. You know what dominance means. And you know you don't have it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications if you decide to subscribe. Listen, I had to share this video with you. There have been a lot of conversations about the patriarchy, and I want to share with you what this woman had to say about what this man said. Now, I already can imagine what some of the comments will be. Some people might come for her, or as she said up here, is logic painful for some? Logic is painful for some when it comes to the patriarchy. Listen to what is being said here, and I will give my opinion afterwards.
This man is dropping truth bombs. Take a listen.
I mean, doesn't the Quran say that men have authority over women?
Well, don't they? I mean, according to your own narrative, men have been running the show. The feminists are asking for their so-called rights from who exactly? Okay, if you didn't have what you call patriarchy, then what you would have is a hell on earth for women. Because clearly, women do not have the power to coerce men, to force men, to make men deal with them this way or that way. If you're out somewhere and a man starts to chat you up and you don't want to be chatted up, what do? You tell him, I have a boyfriend, I'm married, and he goes away. You have to conjure up an imaginary man to get him to back off, because 9 times out of 10, only a man can keep another man in check, because men are inherently more dangerous than women. Instead of patriarchy, replace that word with bodyguard. What makes more sense? For you to be my bodyguard or for me to be your bodyguard? Who do you think is more capable of protecting who? From who? If men didn't protect women, who would? Why, men would do whatever they wanted. And isn't your bodyguard responsible for you? Shouldn't you listen to him if he says, for example, don't go here, don't go there, or let's take this route instead of that route because it's safer? Isn't that authority?
Yeah.
But he's doing it for you. Would you feel resentment about that authority? That's irrational. Look, you cannot dismiss the importance of physicality, human physicality. We're physical beings. Technology does not level the field the way you think it does. And if you were walking in the street by yourself late at night and you see a man coming towards you, which one of the two of you is more likely to be afraid? Who's going to be scared of who? But see, you in the West have confused this. The feminists have confused this. The power imbalance. That literal physical power imbalance. That imbalance in the ability to coerce and exert force and to be violent. It's just a fact and a reality of the power imbalance between men and women. But your culture is in love with power. It's in love with force. It's in love with violence. So to you, whoever has the greater capacity for violence, whoever has the greater capacity for being dangerous, then that person is better. The one who can exert his will is better. Whoever has the power to force people to do something is better. And whoever is weaker is less. It's because you admire power so much, and you admire force, and you admire the ability to coerce, that you find yourself resenting that men have authority over women, or the idea, the concept of men having authority over women, because you think it's unfair. You think that women are being deprived. But remove that authority and see how deprived you'll be. Remove that authority and you will be in danger. You will be deprived of your safety. You'll be deprived of your security, your freedom, and maybe your life. You invent a concept, this concept of equality, and treat it as sacred, and you believe in it religiously, with religious devotion, and you demand that everyone believes in it, and no one can dare doubt the reality and the holy truth of the concept of equality, even though All evidence that you are exposed to on a daily basis disproves that concept. So you'll make fun of us and you'll look down on us and you'll insult our intelligence for believing in something that you say we don't have any proof for. Meanwhile, you're believing in something for which all of the proof that exists disproves it. You see how incoherent your thinking processes are?
You see, all modern feminism has to their advantage are words. And a lot of people might say the pen is mightier than the sword. That's true to an extent. I'm a writer. I know the power of words, especially well-written words. However, in order for words to be effective, they have to make sense. There has to be truth in those words. And without that truth, you're just dealing with Disney. And that's what the feminist movement is, basically. Disney. Because there's no truth behind it. If you take away the patriarchy, what does feminism have? Nothing. Women would be in danger without the patriarchy. The patriarchy is what keeps us safe. Because if you take those laws away, again, we have nature. We have the nature of man and the nature of woman, which is not just the emotional nature, it's also the physical nature. And that, as women, we do not want to confront because we know what it means. We have no foot to stand on. We are physically weak compared to men. The only demographic of human beings on this planet that women have an advantage over are children. The patriarchy is what keeps us safe. Because if you take those laws away, again, we have nature. We have the nature of man and the nature of woman, which is not just the emotional nature, it's also the physical nature. And that, as women, we do not want to confront because we know what it means. We have no foot to stand on. We are physically weak compared to men. The only demographic of human beings on this planet that women have an advantage over are children. And we utilize that advantage as well. So without the structure of patriarchy, you would have men dominating women, women dominating children, and children dominating each other. That's the way it works. That's the totem pole of power. And as he stated in this video, as a culture, we are obsessed with violence and strength and dominance. What it boils down to, the anger that's in a lot of women. We're jealous of men. And I don't care what you say to me. That is the truth. Because you know what physical strength means. You know what dominance means. And you know you don't have it. So you're trying to write it into history. And good luck with that. Good luck with trying to write something fantastical. Yeah, you might end up with a movie like Avatar. Visually beautiful. Fantastical. But in real life, it doesn't make sense. It's not going to happen. There are no blue people. You might have movies like She-Hulk and other films where women have an unimaginable amount of strength where they can go toe-to-toe with men. But as we know, that is not real life, right? And feminism is not real life. It's a fantasy. It's a dream. What the man said in this video is reality, and that reality terrifies us. So hence, feminism, trying to create some illustrious words that is going to make men feel guilty about their nature. Good luck. Yeah, it might work with some guys, but guys are not going to give up who they are. And we're always going to need men, no matter what. And women can sit there fantasizing about a world where men don't exist. Good luck with that too, because men are always going to be here. So will bears and other animals that we're afraid of. They're always going to be here. Nothing you can do. That's the planet we live on. So keep working with your words. Keep trying to make men feel guilty. Keep trying to make men feel that we need an egalitarian planet. Egalitarianism doesn't exist. Equality does not exist between the genders. It simply does not. You could give people rights. We have those. I can vote. I can work. I can do what I want to do. But what more do you want? You want to bend the very nature of men? It won't happen. Because men are different. And so are you.
Okay. So listen, I agree with a lot of what she said. I'm not a feminist who feels I want to live only amongst women and F all men. I don't feel that way, but I also know that feminism was originally meant to help women against sexual harassment, equal pay, the right to have a bank account. A lot of women complain about feminism. You wouldn't even live the life you live in America if it wasn't for feminism. This is for all women who complain about feminism, because you're taking modern feminism and you're forgetting about what feminism used to be about. You know, you have to thank feminism as to why you can be married and have a separate bank account, or just have a bank account, period. You have to thank feminism as to why you're allowed to get property. You have to thank feminism that you can sue when you are sexually harassed on a job. That comes from the feminism fighting for those rights to protect women against these things. So I stand with original feminism, which was never about getting rid of the man and all of that. You know, I know that it has morphed into something new where women are saying F all men, some of them, or they don't like men. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with standing up for the rights of women who are ARD, children, little girls ARD, little boys and all that. If I went to school like you, I got the same degree, I should be paid fairly. There's nothing wrong with that. But I know what she's talking about. I know the type of feminism that she's talking about. And it is true. A lot of women do live in delusion when it comes to certain things, when it comes to men. But let's break down a little bit more of what's being said here. So what I'm going to do, I have my notes, okay? Stay with me. I am going to play this again, but I am going to give my opinion. Some things I wrote down, some things I didn't.
This man is dropping truth bombs. Take a listen.
I mean, doesn't the Quran say that men have authority over women?
Well, don't they? I mean, according to your own narrative, men have been running the show. The feminists are asking for their so-called rights from who?
Okay, so they said at the beginning, the Quran and everything, and he said, well, who are you asking your rights from? From us. So clearly we do have the power. And I have to say, not only does the Quran, the men have authority to protect the woman and he's the head, but that's also the case of the Bible. You don't even have to bring up the Quran. A lot of Americans claim to be Christian. Well, if you're a Christian woman and a Christian man, according to the Christian doctrine, the man is the head. God is first, the man follows God, and the woman follows her husband, and the child listens to both their parents. So I wanted to mention that. I mean, a lot of people who claim they're Christian, but they have an issue with their husband leading them. And I'm not talking about abusing you, but he is your protector and the authority, your head. You're saying you're Christian. It says this in your own book that you follow. So let's continue. Okay. And it says, he said, feminists are asking their rights from who? You see, she actually already said it, but it's true. One of the only advantages that men have over women is their physical strength, because women have already proven to be, in many cases, smarter or just as smart, able to lead, make good decisions. A lot of men claim that we're too emotional to run a country and stuff. Who's the one starting civil wars and threatening to bomb people or have bombed people? It's been men. Men have been running the land for thousands of years, and look at all the turmoil that has happened. I believe that with women running or having positions of power, we could have a very peaceful world with a lot of women, you know, who have empathy, who are Mother Nature within us, not to hurt anyone. But he said it. Who are you asking for your rights from? And you remember the song from James Brown, "It's a man's world. It's a man's world." But he also said, James Brown said, but he wouldn't be nothing without his woman. And you have in other cultures, they say the man is the head, but the woman is the neck who gets to help turn the head. You know, sometimes the woman is in the background calling the shots or influencing her man. I mean, even the Nation of Islam with Louis Farrakhan, the reason that Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, he ended up finding out about Islam because of his wife. She was the one who put him on. So women have always been influential in their men's lives. But the problem is a lot of men have such a big ego. They never want to give women props, and they never want to admit that it was a woman who was more right. It was a woman who influenced his decisions. It's a woman who helped get him out of a rut. And some men, because they don't want to feel less than the woman or less intelligent, they don't want to give it up to a woman that, hey, she actually made better decisions. Hey, she actually was more smarter. Hey, she actually was more responsible or financially responsible and things like that. But the men have been ruling. And listen, I don't have a problem. I never really had a problem with men running things. I just don't want the world and women. I don't want women being abused, children being abused, and that's been going on. I don't agree with a woman getting 100 lashes because she got awed and there weren't 5 witnesses in certain countries. I don't agree with stoning a woman to death. I don't believe in Aris getting 5 months in jail. That happens here. I don't agree with that. I think men have failed a lot with the so-called authority over women to protect and nurture women and children, with the chaos that we see running around, especially when it comes to the protection of women and children. We see it all over the place. It's a problem. It is a problem. And there was some key things said. Let's keep listening that tells us more. They're not admitting something. Now, let me be clear. I actually agree with majority of what she said, because a lot of it is true. But some of it, let's continue to listen. Let's continue to listen.
If you didn't have what you call patriarchy, then what you would have is a hell on earth for women.
Okay. He just said, if it weren't for patriarchy, you would have hell on earth for women. Both of them admitted, because she said women don't want to do you see what it's boiling down to? If it would be hell on earth for women without the patriarchy, what does that say about the nature of men? What does that say about you, that we all need so much damn protecting from y'all? What are you saying? Are you a beast? Are you an animal? What is wrong with you that everybody needs protecting from you? Don't get me wrong. Yes, we got crazy women doing stuff. I see them on the news. But men are going to have to confront their nature. Women, the truth is, there's nothing. A man, we can act like we're running the show. Men can make us think that. All they have to do is throw us down, pull our pants down, and it's over. We can't fight them. We know we can't. Those of us who know the truth. It's the truth. We can't. They know it. So I get what she's saying. Could you really boss them around? Could you really get them to bow to you without them using physical force on you to make you bow to them? And a lot of men are fully aware that they can force you. I've heard men say this, I'll force you into submission. This has happened historically to women when men would come in and take over other tribes, and they would the women. They would throw the women around. They would beat the women, scare them to death, and the women couldn't fight. That's what happened to us as Black women with slavery. What could we do? We were women. We were defeated. We were awed by black men and white men, both of them. And we had to submit because we couldn't fight them. Oh God. So he says, without the patriarchy, I hope you can hear me, without the patriarchy, it would be hell on earth for women. Now, there have been other women who have said this, such as, besides me, also Cynthia G. Princella, I am aware of who she is. She has been talking about this. Okay. It's not the first time, but she goes deep into it. And I would like to share this video with her, this clip, because I would love to hear her breakdown and opinion on this. I really would. So I don't know, I don't usually collaborate with most content creators because I said it was so much drama when I see it, but I think she's also brilliant. I don't agree with everything I hear all the time, but I would love to hear also her opinion about this video right here. So, okay. The earth, the men again have been ruling, and we have pollution. The oceans is toxic, civil wars, the R's of women as weapons of war, 1-year-olds R'd, breaking grandma's bones and women, fighting over oil, fighting over resources, the gun problem, lack of clothing, lack of sanitary products for women on their menstrual cycles, who introduced heroin, crack cocaine, the taxes out of control, all of this. And men have been given the authority, and women are crying out globally. Women are scared to death globally. Don't get me started, not just America and India and many other places. I mean, it's craziness. And you are supposed to be our protectors and someone we look up to that we know loves us. But is love being shown on a global scale to a lot of women?
Because clearly, women do not have the power to coerce men, to force men, to make men deal with them this way or that.
I don't agree. The fact, okay, I'm talking about white men. White women got white men on board with some laws. They were able to get white men to pass laws to help protect women. So I don't think anyone can say it's not true that a woman, I don't like the word coerce. I would just say influence or ask for help or something. But white women were able to get laws passed in this country. Yeah, the men were at the head of it, but the white women and some men and, the women spoke up about rights and stuff and more protection. And the white man wrote the laws in this country to help. Even though I think it's still lacking, it has been some progress. Okay, let's continue.
If you're out somewhere and a man starts to chat you up and you don't want to be chatted up, what do? You tell him, I have a boyfriend. I'm married. And he goes away. You have to conjure up an imaginary man to get him to back off.
That is very true. I agree. Ladies, you can't deny the power of saying you have a man. Okay, I agree. I don't believe in saying I don't need a man. I don't want a man. Yes, I want a man. Yes, I need a man. I'm a woman. I crave a man. I crave my love and all this stuff and to feel protected. A lot of women are saying you want a provider and a protector. Well, that's what the man does. And you're saying it out your mouth yourself. You want him to protect you from danger. There's also several other forms of protection too, besides just physical, but you want him there to help protect you, to provide and protect. Okay. So, and it's true. You do make up a fake phone number. I got a boyfriend. I got a man. Leave me alone. Or you get scared. You get scared around some of them. And then you do need a man. You need that masculine energy to check them. And it doesn't come from us typically. And we don't, even if we were masculine, and there are some women like that, we would never be able to fight them off on average. So, okay.
Because 9 times out of 10, only a man can keep another man in check. Because men are inherently more dangerous than women. Instead of patriarchy, replace that word with bodyguard. What makes more sense? for you to be my bodyguard or for me to be your bodyguard? Who do you think is more capable of protecting who? From who? If men didn't protect women, who would? Why, men would do whatever they wanted. And isn't your bodyguard?
I agree with him. But once you dissect all of this, and I'm not the first person to say this, men are going to have to confront themselves about what they're doing. It's like you're admitting, he just said it, we're inherently more evil than women, more dangerous. And you need me to be your bodyguard. You need me to protect them from them. It reminds me of this country and globally where a woman gets brutally awed and you don't check him. Instead, you want to punish her. Why didn't you check him? You have daughters. You have a wife. It could have easily happened to them. If you love us, you would be protecting us from them. Instead, you give them 5 months in jail, or you say you need 5 witnesses and stuff. What is that? Why aren't you dealing with him? Even when I talked about the death penalty. Like, what's going on here? What's going on here? But what he's saying is true. The thing is, though, is that he's admitting, too, that there's something wrong. What's going on with men that y'all are being violent and y'all are hurting women, men, and children? And throughout the video, I hear it's their nature, it's their nature. And there have been more men coming out saying it's our nature. I know men have testosterone, but are you a beast? It's 2023. We as women have even evolved. We haven't always been the same as women. What's going on here? I hope I'm making sense, okay?
Responsible for you? Shouldn't you listen to him if he says, for example, don't go here, don't go there?
Yes, I would listen to my man, of course. And when I say stuff like that, there have been women who called me a pick-me and got mad at me. I'm girl, please. If any woman who had a man, you know what it is. Okay, and you love that man and you want that man to protect you and you want him to, I'm not talking about, no, you can't go here. Seriously, if somebody knocks on your door at night, who do you want to get the door? Because I damn sure it's not going to be me. No, he's going to the door at nighttime. He's not sending me out to the car in the middle of the night to get something. No, he's going out there. And if he doesn't, I'm not going to be with him. Do you truly want the protection? From the man.
Or let's take this route instead of that route because it's safer. Isn't that authority? Yeah. But he's doing it for you. Would you feel resentment about that authority? That's irrational. Look, you cannot dismiss the importance of physicality, human physicality. We're physical beings. Technology does not level the field the way you think it does. And if you were walking in the street by yourself late at night and you see a man coming towards you, which one of the two of you is more likely to be afraid? Who's going to be scared of who? Me. But see, you in the West have confused this. The feminists have confused this. The power imbalance. That literal physical power imbalance. That imbalance in the ability to coerce and exert force and to be violent. It's just a fact and a reality of the power imbalance between men and women.
And I've always said it, and I don't have a problem with it. We're not the same. I don't want to be a man. And a man who is in his masculinity, he doesn't want to be a woman. There are certain roles that exist. And I know people get mad when I talk like this. I'm not saying you have to. Look, if you don't want to cook for your man who's working to provide for you and that makes love to you and that loves you, don't do it. But some of us enjoy making our man happy, who makes us happy, But we're not the same. We're not the same, even down to biology. We're not. And that's no excuse, though, for them to be animalistic. You get what I'm saying? I don't agree with that.
But your culture is in love with power. It's in love with force. It's in love with violence.
That was deep to me when he said that. He said our culture in America is obsessed with violence. And it's true. You know, don't get me wrong. I like action movies like Terminator and Predator, but you see that a lot. You do see that a lot here, you know, and the video games always shooting up people. And now you have all these mass shootings going on with kids and stuff in high school and middle schools and, well, a lot of high schools and every week now in this country.
So to you, whoever has the greater capacity for violence, whoever has the greater capacity for being dangerous, then that person is better. The one who can exert his will is better. Whoever has the power to force people to do something is better. And whoever is weaker is less. It's because you admire power so much, and you admire force, and you admire the ability to coerce, that you find yourself resenting that men have authority over women, or the idea, the concept of men having authority over women, because you think it's unfair. You think that women are being deprived. But remove that authority and see how deprived you'll be. Remove that authority and you will be in danger. You will be deprived of your safety. You'll be deprived of your security, your freedom, and maybe your life.
So there they go again, admitting how dangerous men are, which we know. I mean, all humans are capable of being dangerous, but men are known to be the ones usually committing the most crime against women, men, and children. And this is something that the human man is going to have to confront because it's not good at all. But it's, you know, it's true, though. We would be in danger, too, without the protection of men, because even if it was a group of us women, I've heard women say we need to just get an all women community. I'm like, a man they could easily bust up in there, but bust down the doors and are all of us and kill us easily. I know this. I would hope nothing like that would happen, but I'm fully aware it's very possible. But they need to dive deep within as a species of men, a lot of them, and confront this about them doing this wickedness. You know, they need order. And, you know, and I know people will bring up religion. Well, religion is order. This is why we're trying to make them Christian, damn it. Or turn to Islam, Christianity, be a Buddhist, something. We got to give them religion to keep them sane and to act right. That's what it's for. That's what some people say. But a lot of them refuse to also be religious too, a number of them. So even no matter how religious a man is, they can't stop their nature. It's just, a woman can't stop her nature. Human beings' nature trumps everything. It always comes out regardless of anything. You know, it's just, but people will say, well, it's here to try to help you balance your nature or make better decisions, I guess, from a part of your natural human instincts and nature. But there was someone, I don't know if it was Princella. I saw it on TikTok. It was this Indian man or something like that. Before she did a live with him, but he was on TikTok. He was doing an interview with somebody, and he said that he basically kind of implied and said that men, not all, but he said a lot of men at large are not evolved. And that's the problem. And he said this violence thing we got going on, and that he said no woman can help or fix it. It has to be men.
You invent this concept of equality, and treat it as sacred, and you believe in it religiously, with religious devotion, and you demand that everyone believes in it, and no one can dare doubt the reality and the holy truth of the concept of equality, even though all evidence that you are exposed to on a daily basis disproves.
My thing to that is, I don't want us to be delusional, but equality to me, it just means treat me with the same respect. Don't disrespect me. Of course, I'm not equal to a man's physical strength, but beyond physical strength, what else can I not be equal in? Physical strength, yeah, he has that over me. But can a woman be strategic? Can a woman be a leader? Can a woman run a company? Can a woman be good at finances? Can a woman rear children? And it is true that children respond differently to their father. The bass in his voice commands more authority. That's just the truth. But, you know, I feel like when women bring up equality, men always, you got these dusty men. Oh, I don't have to open your door anymore. I don't have to do this anymore because you said equality. You didn't want to do it anyway. No one's talking about not being having chivalry. We're not talking about that. We're talking about treat me as a person. Treat me with kindness. Treat me with respect. Don't talk down to me. And I don't even know you. I'm not married to you or anything. Treat me with respect, the way I treat you with respect. That's what it's about to me. And then, of course, the women who say, I have a master's degree and this, he has a master's degree. You're paying him 3 times more than me. I busted my butt in school for the same job. You know, and I understand men have to have money to provide for families, but they're not even getting married like that a lot in this country. I mean, you do have some of them, but a lot of them who don't get married and stuff. A woman got to fend for herself in this country. A good portion of us, unfortunately,
that concept. So you'll make fun of us and you'll look down on us and you'll insult our intelligence for believing in something that you say we don't have any proof for. Meanwhile, you're believing in something for which all of the proof that exists disproves it. You see how incoherent your thinking processes are?
You see, all modern feminism has to their advantage are words. And a lot of people might say the pen is mightier than the sword. That's true to an extent. I'm a writer. I know the power of words, especially well-written words. However, in order for words to be effective, they have to make sense. There has to be truth in those words. And without that truth, you're just dealing with Disney. And that's what the feminist movement is, basically. Disney. Because there's no truth behind it. If you take away the patriarchy, what does feminism have? Nothing. Women would be in danger without the patriarchy. The patriarchy is what keeps us safe.
Now, listen, I can't wait to hear the comments of what do you think about this? I mean, yeah, the men protecting us, but they've been failing at it, a number of them around the globe. Women are suffering because of the patriarchy. Women are, I got to use certain words, women are unaliving their children by abortion and only having boys because of the patriarchy. Now in China, millions of them can't find a woman and don't have a wife. Suicidal, depressed, can't have children. Going to Africa now because the patriarchy, and I'm not disagreeing with her. I'm just saying let's dissect it. The patriarchy says that a woman's value is less than a man in many countries. And they abort those girls, which is against their religion. Or I believe it is, right? In many places. Then there's an imbalance because the boy, the male species, is somehow more superior to them. And they didn't use logic and reason. And now there's an imbalance and they can't find wives. The patriarchy in other countries around the globe beat women up with bats on their knees and on their ankles when their ankle is exposed out of their, well, I know this happens in India and some Middle Eastern countries like maybe Afghan. I don't want to name, I don't know for sure. I can't say, but I've seen it on video. I don't know what country it was, but I've seen it, India, the Middle East. African woman was burned to death by a group of students because she had a Bible. Well, I don't know if that's a great example of patriarchy right there, but around the globe, in America too, here in this country, there is toxic patriarchy that's going on as to where the life and value of a girl is nothing. We live in fear because of the rulership of the patriarchy, where we can't go out in peace. We can't travel places at night. We should be able to be safe, but the reality is their nature is not like that, and we are in danger. So it is true, we still need them to be our protectors. But when are we going to confront the animals and the beasts running around and do something about it? You know? I think about that girl in India who was just minding her business on the bus. The boys kept bothering her, and she didn't want to be bothered. They took a pole and awed her to death with it. Her vagina cut up, brutalized, internal injuries, and she died at the hospital. The Indian women cried. The Indian men cried and fought too. Forgotten about just a few months ago, another case just like that. It keeps happening over and over and over because the patriarchy of men who say they have been given authority have failed at their authority to protect the women because they do not love us. A number of them. I'm not saying all men, but this is a global problem. Even when it comes to sexuality, in America and around the globe, you want us to be to ourselves. You claim you want virtuous women. But then when no one wants to give you any punani, you're this, you're a prude, you're stuck up. I'm not waiting for marriage. I want experience. Oh, let me this, that. What's this? I'm not getting married. F that. It's a mess. Even the trans thing. Lord, my mind is starting to race. I can't think no more right now because I'm getting kind of hyped up from this. I understand we need the patriarchy. We need men. Men need women. The problem is men and women don't love each other anymore, but a lot of women no longer love men because men have hurt women so much. And that's one of the reasons so many women are fighting against this ruler or authority because so many men have abused it. They have abused it. The woman gender has been beat down and abused, cried out her soul, and no one's come. The men didn't come. They didn't protect. Slavery would not have happened if the men would have protected. Not just for us, but for all over the globe. Slavery should have never happened anyway, because humans should not be enslaving other humans, period. So while it is true, a lot of what has been said, and I enjoy a masculine man. I enjoy feeling protected and safe. I want to know you care about me. I want to know that you're going to protect me. It turns me on. I like being under my man if I'm in a relationship. I like being, as you can say, weaker than him. I don't mind it as long as he doesn't abuse me and he loves me and he treats me right and nurtures me and I nurture him and all that.
Because if you take those laws away, again, we have nature. We have the nature of man and the nature of woman, which is not just the emotional nature, it's also the physical nature. And that, as women, we do not want to confront.
And I don't think men want to confront it either. They don't want to confront their nature either. That is a problem amongst millions of them globally. I agree.
Because we know what it means. We have no foot to stand on.
Yeah, basically, they can beat your butt, but you can't beat their butt. Yes, that's a fact. You know? And again, I'm not speaking of all men, but I said millions of men. There are a billion people on this planet, more than a billion. So, okay, let's continue.
We are physically weak compared to men. The only demographic of human beings on this planet that women have an advantage over are children. And we utilize that advantage as well. So without the structure of patriarchy, you would have men dominating women.
And you know what else? Just to not to go off subject, I have known a man who wanted to dominate me so much, like push me down one time and kept saying, I'm a man, I'm a man. Like he felt like he had to prove I'm a man. I know you're a man. That's that insecurity when they do that. Or they feel, let me show her that I'm the better one. Let me show her I'm the stronger one. And let me yank her. Let me push her. Let me play fight with her and then dominate her and show her my strength. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I like to feel the muscles. I like for you to open that jar. I like to know and see that you're strong and all of that. But you do have some men who abuse that as well.
Women dominating children and children dominating each other. That's the way it works. That's the totem pole of power. And as he stated in this video, as a culture, we are obsessed with violence and strength and dominance. What it boils down to, the anger that's in a lot of women. We're jealous of men.
Hold on.
And strength and dominance. What it boils down to, the anger that's in a lot of women. We're jealous of men.
Now, when she said that, I'm sorry, I don't agree. I don't agree fully. I know that I'm not. You know, I enjoy being a woman. I enjoy being the dainty one. Don't get it twisted. I know some of you have heard me curse up on here and have this image of me. I'm very girly and dainty. I'm the baby. You know, I love being the baby. You know, I'm the softer one. I'm the girl, the woman and everything like that. I don't wish to be a man. I think men have a role to fulfill. I think they have duties to fulfill. I also think a lot of them have abused that authority and they haven't done their job right as the protectors of women and children. I mean, in some countries, yes, and in other countries, absolutely not. And yes, I'm even talking about right here in this country. You know, there's a problem. It's a problem when women are scared to death of men. You grab your purse when they come near. They walk near you and you're scared they might hurt you. Or you get in a car and you don't know if he's going to kidnap you. You don't know what's going to happen. You're always on edge that something's going to happen to you. Men have created this atmosphere, this environment of women being scared to death of them. Okay. Are women jealous of men? You got some of them out there like that. You know, I'm not going to say, I'll say it's, I can't give a percentage, but it definitely does exist. But I know that doesn't apply to me, you know, but I just want to hear your opinion about this. She says that deep down women are jealous of men because they have the more physical strength advantage and they're the ones running the world, basically.
And I don't care what you say to me. That is the truth. Because you know what physical strength means. You know what dominance means. And you know you don't have it.
I'm fine with that. Just don't hurt me. That's all. I don't want the muscles and I don't want to do the heavy lifting. I'm fine. My women are not supposed to do that. And that's our nature and that's who we are. And women out there, if there are any who are upset about that, just accept it. It's fine. You know, just as long as the man doesn't abuse us and hurt us. You know, I remember being in a subway and I had my suitcase. I couldn't carry it. I was literally going up the stairs so slowly with one bag. I just couldn't. And the man looked at me with a cute little look like, oh, she can't do it. And he came over and he lifted my bag like it was a paper bag, like it was nothing. And he lifted my bag up and carried it up the stairs. And I couldn't do it. I needed him, you know?
So you're trying to write it into history. And good luck with that. Good luck with trying to write something fantastical. Yeah, you might end up with a movie like Avatar. Visually beautiful. Fantastical. But in real life, it doesn't make sense. It's not going to happen. There are no blue people. You might have movies like She-Hulk and other films where women have an unimaginable amount of strength where they can go toe-to-toe with men. But as we know, that is not real life.
Okay, well, they're trying to with this trans thing going on. But what I will say, I really believe the reason why you do have a lot of women who want to turn things around or flip the script, I think a lot of women are upset with the abuse they have suffered from men, and they don't like it. On a global scale, women are tired. I think that if there was justice happening for a lot of women and women could be more free to be themselves and not have so many rules against them and, being beat up or, you know, being scared to death, I think that women really wouldn't be complaining. I don't think women would care that much, I think you see so many women rising up because so many women are tired, especially when there's no justice for them or their children in many parts of the world, including this country. Watch that video that I uploaded about what's going on with the ACLU. So there's an imbalance between men and women globally, but I think women are more responding to the hurt and pain and the abuse that's been going on and the lack of justice. Don't get me wrong. Are there some women who are lesbians in the feminist movement who identify as men and want to be men and are tired of men? Yeah, that exists. But it's an imbalance going on between both men and women, and that's a problem. So listen, I played the video. You can watch it again. I think I've said enough. Okay, I've said enough my opinion. What do you think about what she said? What the man said at the beginning of the video? How do you feel? Are you jealous of men deep within you? Do you wish you had the authority and the physical strength of a man? Do you wish you ran the world? Are you upset that they are the ones running the world? Do you think that it's delusional for feminist women or women, period, to believe that this equality is ever going to happen? Do you think that it's ridiculous for women to say they want a provider and a protector only to turn their nose up at the patriarchy, which is protecting you? This is so good. I cannot wait to hear your opinion. All right. So thank you, everybody, so much. I cannot wait to hear your opinions. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications so you know when I upload and when I'm live. This will be so good. I cannot wait to hear your opinions. Bye, everybody.